Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the Board of Supervisors. My name is Steve Huffman, and I'm here today representing the Tucson Association of Realtors. I actually just want to let you know we will be setting up or trying to set up meetings with you guys individually in the next couple of weeks. We actually just finished some public opinion polling on this exact issue. The last phone calls were made on Sunday. So I just have some preliminary information, but we specifically were trying to find out what people's attitudes were about the roads and also what their feelings were on solutions to fixing our roads. The idea that we specifically tested was an idea that we've talked about here before, and Mr. Huckberry mentioned in his memo. We wanted to find out what people thought about potentially looking at new revenue streams, such as a half-cent sales tax here in Pima County. I know this can be a big news flash for you, but what our polling found out is that the vast majority of the people in Pima County think your roads suck. That's shocking.
That's shocking.
I know, that's a real surprise. We asked them to evaluate our roads here in Pima County. Their choices were excellent, good, fair, poor. 85% of the people said that the roads were either fair or poor. 44% of those people said they were poor. So we had almost 50% of the 500 people that we polled that said our roads here in Pima County were poor. I appreciate the $5 million that you guys are putting in from the general fund for the roads, but quite honestly, in the face of a $300+ million problem we have, that's like handing out Band-Aids to Ebola victims. We really need to do much more than we're doing right now. I would suggest that when we look for solutions at this, the business community definitely needs to come forward. We're trying to do some of this polling to just get some discussions going and get some ideas out there. But what is painfully clear to me when we look at this issue is that the voters are telling us, well, if Pima County has money too, and you pick whatever the issue is, and they all might be good ones, buying a soccer field, buying open space in Painted Hills. All those may be great things, but they're saying if Pima County has the money to do this, then they must have the money somewhere to fix the roads. So as we go forward trying to find solutions, a big part of this is going to have to be an education component. We're going to have to really take a hard look at our budgets and see if there actually is money in there. And if you guys believe that there's not money in there, then there's going to have to be a serious educational component in this whole thing with the residents of Pima County, because quite honestly, whether it's true or not, they don't believe that there's not money in there somewhere without raising taxes. That being said, there was a willingness expressed in this poll to look at something like a sales tax. So the people do recognize the top two issues by far that were identified by Pima County residents that we talked to were controlling county spending, number one, and closely behind it was fixing our roads, which quite honestly is a little bit unusual because usually boring things like infrastructure don't really even fall on the top 10 list. It shows you how bad the roads are when that's coming in number two ahead of law enforcement and all sorts of other issues that the county deals with. So we are there for you. I think you've got opportunities in the bond package that you may or may not put together and put on the ballot, and in your next couple budgets to really show that transportation is a priority for the Board of Supervisors and for the residents of Pima County. And honestly, I believe in absence of our values, valuing fixing our roads, lining up with your budgets and your bond proposals and all that, in the absence of that, I think you're going to have a really hard time getting any bond package passed. And I think you're going to have a hard time getting any support for any additional revenue streams. And the last thing I'd just say is, because I know I'm out of time, but we cannot count on the legislature or the federal government to fix this. We're going to have to fix this here at home ourselves. And I think that's if one message comes out of today, we got to start the discussions. We got to fix our roads here at home because we will be waiting forever for the cavalry to show up and help us. That I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Steve. Any questions of Steve? Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.